So there's a lot of times when we go through our days and we think, man, the world is such a place that is so confusing, so frustrating so many times, so painful, so sad, and you just want to help. You want to do something that you can do to just really give, to make a difference right now. I'm going to give you an opportunity to do that right now. Check out this story. So we're here with Sarah and Jane Gapp, and well, why don't you tell us? We met a few years back. How many years has it been?
2008. In August 2008, my daughter had a massive stroke in her brainstem, which left her with something called locked-in syndrome, where your body's paralysed but your mind can still think and you've still got personality. So we were quite fearful for Sarah. We were told that she would not survive, that she would die a ventilated patient in hospital. So I came up with this idea of bringing musicians to her bed, either to sing her spirit home, if that's what she chose to do, or to motivate her to stay. And the lovely Michael Franti came to her bedside. And as a joke, I had said to Michael Franti coming up in the lift, I've got you on left arm duty, because Sarah's left leg had started to get some movement. You're on left arm duty. And Michael came in and started to sing to Sarah, and he sang one of her favourite songs, and Sarah cried. It was the first time she cried in 4 months. So there's magic in this man. Magic.
There's magic in you. Just the songs. Yeah. So we're thrilled because when I saw her last time, she was flat out in bed, not even breathing on her own, completely just not able to do anything really.
Blinking, wasn't she?
Blinking, yeah. Okay. Moving her fingers a little bit.
Just a little bit, and one toe.
Yeah, one toe. Yeah. And now she's up and around, sitting up and breathing and talking and
taking steps.
Yeah.
She can free sit now. Yeah. So there's steady, regular progress.
So how many people who have had locked-in syndrome come back?
Not very many. There's no known cure for locked-in syndrome, and apparently the majority of patients die within the first 12 months. They stay ventilated and never get off the ventilators. We did a lot of physical work with Sarah. I read a book by a man called Norman Deutsch called The Brain That Changed Itself, and we did so much work with her based on that book, encouraging those pathways to rebuild. So lots of movement, and it paid off. Within 6 months she was out of ICU and off the ventilator and up into the ward in hospital. So bringing music to bed was very important, because music was a very, very important part of your life. And ICU is not a very pleasant place. There's lots of beeps and lots of sounds you want to block out. So I think that helped. I think it gave her a bit of motivation. Do you think it did? You can talk. Your people? You got shit distracted. What do you want to say? What do you remember about ICU? It's horrible.
Do you remember waking up and just wondering what happened to you?
What am I doing here?
Could you, what was it like, the feeling of not being able to move your body?
Claustrophobic. Scary? Terrifying.
And did you know at the time if she was lucid or?
Yeah, we knew from the third day after the operation that the thinking part of her brain hadn't been damaged at all. All the damage was done in the brain stem, so no message can get to the body. That's the issue. And her brain stem was very, very destroyed. She's quite remarkable. Now, what's the remarkableness of the human body? I think we don't understand much about it as much as we think we do. And certainly the hospital, well, they didn't expect to make any gains, so they didn't contribute much to the rehabilitation.
So what's next for your rehabilitation team?
We want to trial the Locomat in Melbourne. And if we
Can you explain what that is?
The Locomat's robotic legs. They were designed, I think it's quite an old technology now. It's very clever technology. It's computer operated at the joints and they're big robotic legs, and they do all the walking for Sarah. She's lowered into the legs, and then gradually she takes more control and starts to step for herself. But the beauty about the machine is if her ankle starts to roll, it will adjust. It can adjust it. So she'll be practicing perfect gait. Because we can practice stepping at home with her, but she's not getting that perfect movement, tracking back through the pathways. So we want to trial the Locomat down in Melbourne and see how we go, and some hyperbaric oxygen. And then if that's successful, we want to keep fundraising and try to get her over to the Shepherd Centre in Atlanta in America for 3 months. Because I think they'll work with the swallow. It's very hard for me to get people to work with the swallow. We want her to get that back so she can get the treatment coming out.
So, how can folks help out?
Folks can help out by donating to Sarah's website. There's a donation page. It's quite a long one.
We'll put the URL up on the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you could put the URL up,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
And there's a video too. Channel 7 followed Sarah's story for 10 months. And I've always been quite sceptical about the media, but I have to say they have been our greatest allies and friends through this whole journey, and they were very respectful of Sarah's privacy. And they put together quite a remarkable little video out of 55 hours of footage, wasn't it? They got it down to 12-minute snippet, and it gives a lot of background.
And during all the midst of her recovery, what happened to you?
Well, in the middle of it all, when Sarah was still in ICU, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So that was in February 2009, 5 months after she'd had the stroke. So June that year I had my surgery and started chemotherapy, and then had the radiation, and that was all done in the same hospital. So even though I did have like a full mastectomy, I didn't leave her bedside. I was back there the next morning after the operation, being vigilant, watching over her. So we were there together, weren't we? I think cancer is an emotional disease. I think it was triggered by the stress and horror of the situation. But I'm good now. We're both getting better, aren't we?
So, we'd love for you all to help out, everybody who's watching here, to help out with Sarah. And I'm just so moved to be here with you today, and I'm so happy to see you. It's so amazing. It's great. So, everybody, if you can, go to Sarah's website and find out more, find out what you can contribute.
Thursday night, I introduced you all to an incredible woman. Her name is Sarah Gapp, and she, 3 years ago at age 21, she had a stroke, and she developed what is called locked-in syndrome, which is when your mind and your personality are still completely intact and your body can't move at all. And she came out and said, "Sarah, baby, come on out again." As you can see, she's doing amazingly well. That's her mom with her, Jane. She's never left her side the whole time. And a year ago, Jane developed breast cancer, and even during chemotherapy, she never left her daughter's side in the hospital, taking care of her all this time. So tonight, we had a different song planned, but Sarah came up to me before the show and she said, "Will you play a request?" This is for Sarah. Don't fear the best friends, because the best friend never taught you wrong. Don't fear the worst friends, because the worst friend's just the best friend that's done you wrong. Don't fear the night time, because the monsters know that you're divine. And don't fear the sun, Byron in the auto